Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's kind of become a Tim reviews parks kind of channel, but I'm okay with that. This is not my favorite park, but a very dear park to me because I used to live here through that through those blocks over there. And it's a real neighborhood park. Not really many people come here from around town. It's just the people that live here. So it's usually quiet and peaceful. And right now very muddy because of spring. It's good to talk again on the camera. It's been a while. Let's set up here. Okay, so I want to talk about commitment, which is a really hard topic, loaded topic. Okay, commitment. Are we good? People have a hard time committing, understandably, and I think it's because we don't really think about it too much, what it means and what it is, or even what we want. Um, so this is an attempt to think about it openly. I think there are horizons of commitment. So there are some people who are like, I'm ready to commit for life. That's great. Good for them. I think that those are things like marriage and having kids. Because when you have kids, you're gonna have a relation to that other person that made the kid with you, as long as the kid is alive, and definitely after, spiritually at least. So that's I would say the maximal commitment one can do. And I think if two people are open and willing, that's a great thing. I think a lot of trouble comes from the mismatch between people who want that and someone who isn't able to. And I think that's, and I think the trick here is to be okay with, to actually be okay with someone's lack of commitment, if, because that might actually allow that person to grow into it. I mean, you don't know, it's a gamble, right? Um, so I think actually giving people leeway with what I term now existential commitment is a noble thing to do. Noble, kind of risky, but life is risky. But I think that that's like the long scale of things. Existential commitment, you can't really expect anyone to um, be a certain way forever. You can't really even, like, you shouldn't expect someone to be in a certain job or career or uh, yeah, those things are need to change with time and as that person changes. But on the other on the other end of the spectrum, I call it logistical commitment. You have to have very high standards for that. And I would say very little leeway because that is the foundation for everything. So, what do I mean by logistical commitment? When someone says, I want to hang out next week, and barring some catastrophe or whatever, like change in plans, those happen. But if someone wants to hang out next week and they make it clear, then I think that's a beautiful thing. They show up. I think it's very, very difficult if you talk to someone and they're kind of like half about stuff. Like, yeah, it'll be nice. We should do this. We should. No, you do it or you don't. Um, and I think having very high standards in that is the key. So I'll give you an example. I don't know whether Tormod will be in Oslo his whole life. I may not be. But I do know when we say we're going to have dinner tonight, and he says he's looking forward to it, I actually know that he means that. And then times are great, and you build up a good life on good times. Just the moments that that build on each other, and then something special can happen from that. Um, I don't think you start backwards by saying, "Hey, you know what?" Like, imagine me meeting Tormwood, like in terms of, "Hey, you know what, Tormwood? I think we'll have a great friendship, really great friendship." No, you don't start like that. You say, "Hey, do you want to play guitar tomorrow at 9 a.m. even though it's 5 a.m. now?" And then he showed up at 9 a.m. And you don't know where the wind blows. I didn't even know he was gonna move to Oslo, but when he did and he showed up and he said, "Hey, let's hang out," I said, "Let's do it." So it's just that. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling now. I really appreciate the people in my life who um, are clear about that. That um, because that shows that they value my time, and from there, I think great things can happen. We don't know what, but that has to be the start of it. So yeah, that's my take on commitment so far. There's existential commitment that you can't really hold anyone to because people have to always change and to always um, develop, and you have to allow that to happen. But what you can expect from people is honesty, that they do want to spend time with you. Um, and then, yeah, that's it. So don't confuse the two. I'm talking to myself. Peace and happy Easter Monday.